Welcome to the Wellness in a Chaotic World podcast. I'm your host, Cheryl Davis. Before we dive in, I wanted to note that as a health and wellness coach, I can support you in making sustainable lifestyle changes, tuning into your own wisdom, and building habits that align with your values and vision for your well being. I don't prescribe or treat health conditions, as I'm not a doctor or a mental health professional. Instead, I can walk alongside you as you create a healthier life on your terms. From time to time, I share conversations with guests. The views and opinions expressed by those guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect my views or those of anyone associated with wellness in a chaotic world. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and isn't a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always talk to your doctor or qualified mental health provider about any physical or mental health concerns. This is the Wellness in a Chaotic World podcast, a place where we're having conversations about what it really takes to live well in our unhealthy, chaotic world. I'm your host, Cheryl Davis. If you're beating yourself up over a bag of chips you ate in a stressed out frenzy, or you can't figure out how anyone manages to find the time to even think about wellness, you're in the right place. We talk about all of these things and more because, frankly, we don't talk to each other enough about what we're really up against every day. Let's change that right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Wellness in a Chaotic World podcast. If you're a regular listener, you might be wondering what's happening with the podcast and why there haven't been any new episodes for a few months. This past winter, I really needed to step back and take a look at why I was working on the podcast and what I wanted for it and myself in the future. Winter became this time of deep reflection for me, and it brought up a whole host of things that I needed to address both internally and externally. Part of it was that life was getting lifey. With sudden changes at work and the extra physical challenges that come with a long, cold winter, I was struggling. Part of it was a loss of faith in whether this podcast was providing enough value. But the podcast has allowed me to meet a lot of inspiring people, including health coaches and wellness practitioners who are making a difference in people's lives every day. For a long time, I've been thinking about how to offer more, trying to find that intersection of what I can do well, what lights me up, and what would be truly valuable to others. So, after a long time of contemplating whether I wanted to be a health coach or not, I decided that the time was finally right to enroll in a coaching program. This program is going to help me learn the skills I need to become a board certified health coach. After just 3 weeks in the program, I have that deep sense of knowing that this is the right next step for me. And it's one that I truly hope will help me serve you and future listeners well. One of the many things that came up for me during my time of self reflection is that I don't often ask for help when I need it. Somewhere along the way, I learned to have this distorted sense of you must make it on your own or not make it at all. In a sense, it doesn't really matter where this came from, but it's an idea that is directly confronted by the idea of wanting to become a health coach. For one thing, coaching itself is a field that is all about working with others in a partnership, one that helps the other person grow and evolve into who they want to become. Secondly, success of any kind never happens in a vacuum. It never happens without others, and frankly, it wouldn't be worth it if it did. So, I'm going to ask you for help today. The coaching program I am in naturally requires that I get hands-on experience to practice the skills of health coaching. So I am looking for a few people to work with for free over the next few months. If you've been thinking about focusing more on your health and wellness, this would be a chance to explore what coaching can offer while I get to practice my skills. We'd work together for 4 to 6 sessions, each about 30 minutes long, and we would focus on whatever areas of health are most important for you right now. The other part you should know is that because this is part of my training, I would need to record our sessions and submit them for feedback. One instructor and one assistant who would be checking the time requirement are the only other people who would see these sessions. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to discuss the details and answer any questions you might have before committing to anything. Also, just a note for anyone listening to this well after it's published, my training program ends in August of 2025, but the road to becoming a board certified health coach also requires another 50 hours of coaching sessions. So there will be plenty of opportunities to receive health coaching in the future. Please feel free to reach out whenever this episode lands in your life or whenever you feel inspired to explore health coaching. One more thing for today. As I work through this training program, I will be taking a lot of information in and focusing a lot of my energy on learning these new skills. I won't promise there will be any new episodes between now and the end of August. If the inspiration hits or a great guest opportunity enters my life, I may pop on. But I wanted to be upfront about this because I was pretty terrible about it when I dropped everything in the winter. I left you all hanging, and for that, I really, truly apologize because I truly appreciate everyone who listens to this podcast. And I'm very thankful. If this happens to be the first episode you're listening to, I hope you'll take a look at what the conversations from season 1 and season 2 have to offer. There are a lot of timeless truths and insights from genuinely caring and knowledgeable guests. And you don't even have to start at the beginning. Even simply starting with an episode that resonates with you might bring you to something that you need to hear today. If you'd like to receive updates about the podcast, including notices of new episodes, you can easily sign up by going to the website wellnessinachaoticworld.com and filling out the form, or by downloading any of the free guides or meditations. With that, I'm going to sign off for today, and when the timing is right, I hope we cross paths. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. You can also find more about each episode on the website at wellnessinachaoticworld.com. Or you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, where we can chat more about living well in this stressed out, chaotic world. And as always, I hope you have a healthy, happy week. If today's episode resonated with you, our private Facebook group is a great place to dive deeper, ask questions, and share wins with people who understand. It's free, it's private, and you can join by clicking the link in the episode description. I hope to see you there.